David Attenborough himself was not very happy with that use.
I thought that actually, and that's why I got him to say bitch.
Does he look like a bitch? What?
There's not really tools on the platforms that can authenticate whether something's AI or not. I think it's a big rethink of a lot of things, and the more resistance people have to AI, the less inclined they are to stay on top with it all.
I think naturally the next generation is going to grow up with it, and they're most likely going to be way more comfortable with the technology. I mean, it's like we were the first generation that really had computers our whole lives. You know, our parents most likely only had it in their 30s, and we're the same age actually. So it's just we've just embraced it a lot quicker than the rest of the population. Yeah.
Well, this is it, and like it's kind of a few things, right? It needs to be there's like people who are really leaning in and kind of a bit more tech first and kind of understanding these things, pioneering with these things, and then you have um younger people who, and it depends on the gen, right? But there will be an age, a generation, which just like the tools are there from like education all the way up, and they're just like it's integrated in their life, and they can speak so freely, they can be express themselves in so many incredible ways, and they can kind of really critically think their way through any company or any idea they have that can benefit things, right?
Mm.
But then also there's like the older generation, and actually this is where this technology is kind of different from, say, any previous kind of revolution of sorts,
Yeah.
is that Siri's kind of difficult to use, email's kind of difficult to use, Google even in a way, it needs to be understood.
Yeah.
But talking to GPT, for example, or like an 11
Mm.
Labs conversational agent or something will make it more accessible because it's just language. Right?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And then you think of like other use cases within health, medical, where people, for accessibility reasons, this is a complete game changer because they've lost
Yeah.
their voice. This is an absolute
Yeah.
game changer about getting their identity, their voice back, and being able to express themselves. So there's all these profound benefits this is going to add, and I think focusing in sometimes actually to like older generations with this and showing them that actually this is accessible for you as well to be understood, and your knowledge and your understanding of history and what's happened through the ages of technology and information and communication should also be part of the bigger narrative.
Yeah. Well, you know the thing with historical research that you can do with AIs. I really hope there doesn't come a day when GPT tells me some weird stuff about some political party 100 years ago. They weren't doing this, they were doing that, and it's. I hope there's an opportunity in the future where we have where we continue to have multiple different AIs. I can just ask ChatGPT, "What do you think of this?" "Oh, Claude, what do you think of that?" "Oh, I think Claude's telling the truth."
Well, I think like the one way we can have, and it's kind of dangerous because it's opening these tools up to more and more people, and in a way you need kind of like a lot of safety and security and attention being brought through to both open and closed source spaces about how that kind of trickles out. But the one thing I think we can save ourselves from like a monopoly on AI and a complete like like in a way like one AI or one company kind of controls a lot of things,
Mhm.
is to have lots of different AIs, and it's the same with like
Mm.
people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it should be kind of the same with, well, like with governments and stuff, right? And
Mm.
for me, it's still, I understand why we have it, but it's still for me quite interesting that we're voting for like one person from this left or right or blue or red. It still feels very archaic in a way,
Mm. Mm. It does,
considering
yeah, yeah.
considering that actually the focus should be more on all the things that they have to deal with, and that should be somehow understood, educated, so that people who are also affected with those things can contribute to how they want them changed. but it's kind of like we vote on one or two things, now, and it bottles down to that. And then
Yeah.
if we don't really like these sides or these opinions, then I mean, what choice do we have?
Yeah.
We don't want that same situation with AI. I think
Mm.
it's, and that's why, I actually tip my hat to OpenAI as much as things change as time goes on, and they become more like they're not open source, and they're a bit more closed. Well, they're closed now, and there's it, it's still understandable because of how far ahead their technology was and how dangerous that could be in the wrong hands at that
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But also you're seeing open source kind of catch up, and that situation still existing there. And so I think it's just kind of a continuation. And what I want to see is all the tech companies talking and finding
Mm.
ways to help um, really combat the issue, and also build the tools that help this be for all.
Hmm.
I think it's going to happen, man. As time goes on, it's getting more attention to it now, and I think more of these companies, these AI companies, are in a position where they have probably enough resources and money to start actually being able to lean into these areas a lot more. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What do you think of the conversation around combating deepfakes? So, what solutions do we have for getting through this problem?
For audio,
Yeah,
I
I can
would
start with
say,
audio. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. To start with audio, I think, from what I'm seeing, the development and kind of progression within like sonic watermarking could be a fantastic kind of tool to be able to identify whether something is being generated or not.
Yeah,
You know,
for people at home, like what does that actually mean? Because
so
I didn't know until you said what
So,
it was
so,
last time.
and I don't truly understand. You'd have to speak more with our, dev team and stuff. But imagine you've got a waveform being visualized for you with the ups and the downs, right? Now, imagine within that up and the down, you could place kind of small dots of information at like places that are either a bit lower or a bit higher, maybe not even heard by a human ear, but could be kind of put within inside like a watermark within inside that waveform,
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
that it's
Mm.
impossible for us to hear it. But for a AI tool on any social media platform, if they had that, they'd be able to identify not only whether it's AI or not, but maybe where it was made by whom, and so on and so forth, which could lead into a whole new way of money being distributed for creators. And
Oh wow, that's a
using
great
using
idea. Yeah,
about it. So it's all these small little things
yeah.
actually come to benefit everyone else, and the security of the companies, and the security of people, and misinformation. So it's things like that. And if you imagine that could be happening on an image as well. Say you've got a mid-journey image or stable diffusion image or something, there could be stamps within that, just small pixels, different changes of information. It's like a meta tag which you'd have on the file, shows what camera
Oh
it's
yeah.
taken with, and where it was taken, and stuff like that. It's like that, but within AI gen, and I think that should be a standard personally. I think that really helps the platforms mitigate and kind of like control and like authenticate, verify where things came from and whether it's AI or not. And as I said, like it might lead to fairer distribution of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hope there's a situation where, like you're saying earlier, the uber successful can still profit and and reap the rewards of their hard work and investment, but at the same time, support everyone that isn't needed to do customer service and telephone calls and all of that. Hopefully we can eventually get there. I don't know how we're going to get there. This is always on my mind. I always imagine what's going to happen with tax. Do massive companies just get tax loads, or is that going to disincentivize them to create value? It's a difficult one. We're going to have to rethink economics.
I think it's a big rethink of a lot of things, and it's kind of a heavy thing to get into. But I think, yes, like you say, it's a rethink, and it might be to do with tax, and it might be to do with It's obviously going to be to do with education, and I truly believe that if we as a country or as as collectively as a planet.
Humanity, that's the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If humanity can really figure that one out, we're looking at a whole new age
Mm.
where technology really serves us and props us up and allows us to to affect other third world countries as well, which would be just such a beautiful thing to see. I think if a lot of people had the support, the money, the finance to live a life and to have their curiosities fulfilled, and they were able to like follow passions that interest them, I think we'd be very happy with these tours. I think it's because it feels like it's coming for our jobs or our sense of identity. Now, there is a harsh truth with that fact that a lot of jobs that are quite linear might have to change.
Mm.
And I depending on which fields those are, I think they should, because there are so many, and we could just kind of keep on going through examples. But I think that money and support needs to be going there, not only from the tech companies but also from government.
Mm.
And there needs to be a need for it and a want for it.
Hey guys, it's James here. So, are you at creating AI video or AI images? If so, this is the place for you. So each month I do a competition where there is a first place, second place and third place winner for each category. So if you enter your video, you can send me up to 3 videos. Only use the form that's on the screen right now to enter your video for best video, right? Don't send me, I know some of you send me WhatsApp messages and LinkedIn emails, Facebook sometimes. Please don't do that. Please use the form, because otherwise I'll forget that you sent it to me, because I get so many messages about this sort of stuff that I can't always remember what everyone's sent me, and I've got a bad memory. If you want to enter your image for the best image, you can scan the code that's on the screen right now. Again, you've got until the end of the month to enter, so that's the end of this month as well, by the way. I know I've just announced entries for another competition, but that was for June. So let's say like you enter by the end of month 1, people have got until the end of month 2 to vote for you. Some people still keep voting past this date. Sometimes I go into the form and I'm like, why are people still voting? I've announced the winner already. Why are people still voting? Anyway, so if you ever want to see the entries for any of the previous competitions, you can go to the link that's on the screen right now. Just go and scan that, or type in the little bit.ly link or whatever I put there. That's where I put all the entries, is there. So it goes out on my personal YouTube, 2.6k, goes out onto the AI Mode YouTube channel. I've got 20 subscribers, not many at the moment. Goes out on the AI Mode LinkedIn page, got 300 subscribers on there at the moment. Goes out on my own profile, I've got about just under 5,000 followers on there, and then I also post into groups as well, so you're tagged in all of the posts. So don't think of this as a competition, just think of this as a little bit of advertising for you, because your name gets mentioned, your work gets seen, your name is right next to the video as you see it, so it's very easy for people to vote for you. If you want to send the voting link to people, I thought I'd put it in here to make it easier. Just scan the code that's on the screen right now. It'll take the person to the place where they need to vote, and again, same for the best image, they can vote there. Yep, that's it. So if you're interested in taking part or just having your work advertised, then please get in contact with me. You know, I give out awards every month to people, so this is good to have on your CV. You know, if you're out of work right now, it's good for that. And also, it's just good for your personal profile. I mean, I'm not like mega influencer or anything like that, but I do post it into a lot of places. So I post it into groups, post it on my own profile. Get shared, you get tagged. You know, this is like a good ad for you if you're looking for work. So there's also that, and plus, you know, it's just good to keep your face being seen on LinkedIn. This is how you get work. All right, until next time, I shall see you soon. Good luck in the competitions, and vote for other people, please. Read the rules. Please read the rules on those links. Thank you. All right, bye.